Welcome back, friends. I hope that you're having a good week. We are fully in fall, or autumn if you prefer. This week has provided us with a good bit of rain, for which I am grateful. I hope you are all finding ways to fully appreciate and receive these gifts. I know the earth, the grass, the plants, the animals, all the beings of this region certainly appreciate the water, as do the farmers, of course. This last Sunday was a special Sunday because we had many gifts as a community of faith. We were able to celebrate the journey of confirmation that began a couple weeks back with some introductions, orientations, and we were able to celebrate these young people that are going to undertake that journey. It's one where I hope they get to question and consult and grow and find a way to make their own connection to this faith that has claimed and is claimed by you and me as well. We also, of course, celebrated one of our confirmands who wanted to be baptized so that at the end of confirmation he could affirm this baptism that he has received. And so we are grateful for his presence with us. Of course, I'm talking about Will. And if you don't know Will, and you are able to be physically present here at First St. Andrews, then I encourage you to find a way to say hi to him. He is a remarkable young person, as are all our young people. And they have a lot to offer and share. They may be a little bit shy, but I think the more you get to know them and they get to know you, the more opportunities for transformation can occur. That's part of why we're here. And it's also why I titled my sermon, Enough of Hopes and Prayers, because our young people today face challenges, obstacles, outright antagonisms that many of prior generations did not face, at least to the same extent. There were challenges, there always are. We are limited beings after all. There were frustrations, tragedies, interruptions. All of those things were then and now and will always be with us. But I think there is something about the state of precarity in which we all find ourselves right now, the systematic assault on some of the opportunities that many of them perhaps would have hoped for and still do. I believe it is up to us, those of us with conscience, those of us with faith, those of us who are committed to following Jesus, to live out that faith, to make our faith be known in our works and in how we show up in the world. That doesn't mean we have to have solutions, at least not singularly. There are many different answers to many different problems. And I think together, working together, hearing other people's perspectives can allow us to take some steps and make progress and help there to be a sense of possibility and hope for our young people. They're looking to us for that. And I think as people of faith with good conscience, as the letter of James suggests, the passage from which I preached, we have to, because those works, our presence in the world, is the way that faith breathes. It is the exhalation into the world of God's love, of God's desire for all beings to be in right relation. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, and it's certainly not going to happen overnight. We've said that many, many times. But one of the reasons it's important for us to show up and bear witness and take action to ensure that there are possibilities present for all young people, not just some, at the exclusion of others. And that brings me to the final point of my reflection today, something I didn't necessarily touch on Sunday. I wore this shirt which says, "White silence is violence," which operates under the assumption that because of racial constructions over the last few hundred years and the way that societies and resource acquisition and all that has happened, it has unfairly benefited those persons in the world that look like me, and perhaps a lot of you who are tuning into this. We have an obligation as people of faith and conscience to speak up and bear witness and demand changes be made to ensure an equitable distribution of resources and opportunities so that we can all all human beings and all beings together, if we are going to follow the lead of our indigenous siblings near and far, that all beings have the opportunity to live, to breathe, to move. Because working together, all beings, that's the world we want to be in. That's the world that you and I are committed to. And I believe it's the world that our faith invites us to co-create with Creator. So I hope that you were able to take some of that hope and some of that possibility from this last Sunday with you into this week. And I look forward to continuing this journey with you and, of course, all of our confirmands as we move forward into fall in 2025. And who knows, before you know it, we'll be at holiday time. And I'm not trying to get the cart before the horse, but let's take a moment, let's pause, and let's do what we're called to do here and now. Thank you.